Mangala Charan first. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva. You are my father, you are my mother. Tvameva Mata Chapita Tvameva. Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva. You are my friend, you are my sibling, you are my knowledge. Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva. Tvameva Sarvam Mama Devu Deva. You are the God, you are my God of all the gods. we did not bring anything when we were born. Did we bring our spouse, our kids, our friends, our sibling? Did we bring? You have to contemplate and reflect. Did you bring your bank balance? And will you take this bank balance and your siblings and your kids to when we leave the earth, including the body? I have to contemplate daily, daily. The moment you contemplate, your mind releases all the binding desires. And when it releases the binding desires, you are becoming free. You are becoming free. We have to do it every day. It is not a part-time journey, it's a full-time journey. And then open your eyes, check that level of awareness and attention. This is another way to do the Mangalacharan. what I brought at the time of the birth and what I'm going to take at the time of the death, nothing at all. Nothing. Prestige, recognition, wealth, kids, and still I'm worried. Unless we have that mindset, we cannot awaken to the six treasures because they block me. My son, my honey, my honey. I made a person my honey, otherwise the person is a man or a woman. I made the person as my son or a daughter, otherwise they are boy and girls. I made the person my friend or enemy, otherwise the person is. Can I scratch? Can I scratch the layer of delusion from the mind? I'm not saying the friend is not a friend, enemy is not an enemy, spouse is not. No, you scratch and then you reflect on it. The moment you scratch, the mind is clear and you are free from those six enemies, which includes your desire, which includes your attachment, which includes your pain and the suffering. Can you go outside and ask the stranger, you have caused a lot of problems to my life? A stranger is a stranger. You need not to scratch anything. We have more problems with the near and dear ones. What happens with the near dear ones? Relationship. I'm reminding you, with the relationship, do you remember the mode and the mood of the mind? What is the mood of the mind looking at the wall? Look in your personal life, your family life, your professional life, your social life. You have to scratch the mind. Scratching the mind, that lack of thinking to a conscious thinking, from a conscious thinking to discernment. But then there are a lot of challenges in our thought, speech, and action are coming. Apply the 11 steps. You forget all your worries. Now, you don't keep the memories. I told them, don't keep your memories of the past. So the next day I asked him that, what do you remember that what we learned? Oh, you told me to forget everything. So memory has a role. You have to get rid of all your binding desires. That someone reacted to you. But you have to remember these principles. If you don't remember these principles, that is why in the very beginning I said it's not a part-time. It's a full-time. Mind is always active. I have to remember. Come back. So you start the day with the Mangalacharan. That is one option. And you start the day with a lot of binding desires in your life. Oh, I'm young, so like Christina. Another starts with the C. Now, other starts with the K is also young. I'm not saying that, I have to follow that. The moment you wake up, start with the Mangalacharan and then see what your mind reminds you. Mind reminds you mood, and the mood of the mind, wonderful. Remind your 11 steps. Creates a wisdom circle. And then don't forget the liberate principle. But at the same time, always remind your mind that if I get rid of the detachment, if I get rid of the delusion, if my mind is steady, I'll be free from any kind of worries and the problems in my life. But from where they are coming, I've been doing the practice for so long. Vasana. Mind does not listen to the knowledge. The intellect listens to the knowledge. The intellect understands it. But the mind is very near to the past impressions, to the pleasure seeking, to the binding desires. So unless we follow those 11 steps, change will not come. Transformation will not come. So once your mind undergoes a transformation by these steps, now the 6 treasures will start manifesting in your life. When the 6 treasures will start manifesting in your life, it happened, that is one way of expression. I kept my master hiding from the normal friends, including this Ashok and other people, at least for 7 to 8 years. And then suddenly, when I experienced the change in my life, I introduced my master to everyone. Go there. Seek help, seek advice from them. Ashok has sought the best advice from the master. I don't see you, Ashok. Do you see that? So what is going to happen? That behavior and attitude will change. And that behavior and attitude will change. Oh, how come you have changed? No, I'm just, practicing Eastern wisdom, It's a journey of the self-discovery. And then can you introduce me? Yes, that is. Because even in the society outside, the value set has to change. I told you, do you still remember? Or did you forget? Knowledge of the Eastern wisdom, teacher, satsang. I'm adding another satsang. So you do the practice. Vasana is the past impressions are in between. Then you have the mind. I have to very clear. The moment you are clear anytime and every time, you are in a higher level of a discernment. Again, you have to connect all the dots. You have to connect all the dots. Higher level of a discernment means you are a higher seeker. You are not doing the discernment, you are not doing the contemplation, reflection, you will remain at the lower level of a seeker. Then you are attending the sessions for the sake of attending. There is no change in life. There is no change in life. Check it again, recheck it again. Ashok is coming and going, that is good. So discernment and discernment results into dispassion. Now see that what is the secret behind it? You have a higher level of a dispassion. These 6 treasures are working in your mind. You need not to worry about. You need not to count them. They are still working. Wake up in the morning. Yesterday you had a fight with your spouse, for example. Don't think it, it's a real, but just an example. So, and you wake up in the morning, your mind wakes up in discernment. The mind does not wake up in the past memory. Oh, hello, honey, how are you? Yes. Can I give you a cup of coffee? You don't carry forward the garbage. That is the moment your 6 treasures will awaken by itself. We have to check our mind. We have to live into that. That is perhaps the last session before we'll start talking about these 6 treasures. So did I make all the efforts to produce and to create these 6 treasures? No, it is always available. I don't see it. I have not seen them. Why? Because of ignorance, because of delusion, because of binding desire, because of the past impressions. Because I have been heavily conditioned since our childhood by our parents, by family, by school, by education, by the society, by the social media. So the entire garbage is cleaned. And now you can link it. Mind, as I mentioned, it has many rooms. So we have been constantly interacting and living in those rooms of desire, binding desire, delusion, duality, and a conflict. Get rid of it. And it can be done by these series of the steps. So those 6 treasures, samadhama uparati titiksha shraddha samadhanam. Mind is 100% available, or you can say calmness of the mind, calmness of the senses, and you have a feeling that I'm not working through the mind and the senses, hence uparati, that is the third, going beyond it. Going beyond the wrong capacity of the mind to receive pain and the pleasure. That is the third treasure. Wrong capacity to receive pain and the pleasure from the world outside. You are my friend and you cheated me because you allowed the person to exploit you. Why you allowed the person to exploit you? Because of your lack of thinking, because of your lack of awareness. Take for granted this body, it will live forever. Then see how the body teaches you. Take for granted. I will never become old. Don't become old. That is the meaning, take for granted. Taken for granted means lack of thinking, lack of reality, lack of discernment. So uparati, the fourth one, endurance. Vasana. Vasana cannot go easily, I tell you. Even the people who are awakened, the vasana continue to chase them, but they are awakened. They are into that awakened state, but they deal with the vasanas. So you might have seen that a lot of awakened people have sometimes they suffer from the cancer. Their body suffers from the cancer. They are 100% clear. And titiksha, the endurance. And the fifth one is the shraddha, the faith. Now your faith, the mind settles into the real self. Even it is not realized by the six treasures, the mind settles into the real self. Subconsciously, no, everything is okay, I'm okay. Faith. Once you have these five, the sixth one is the samadhana. One meaning of samadhana is the solution. I'm just translating into English. But the samadhana is that you have 100% reliance on the real self. So there is the internal, the mind is internalized and it remains steady or focused on the real self. You see, Ashok, you have closed the door to listen to me. Now the computer is creating a problem. You are very good in. So it is because of the mind. It has nothing to do with the room or the laptop. I get ready 5 minutes before, so everything works fine. But still, I have not to rely on it. I have not to rely on it. Now see the other side of it. One master says, every day you find the solitude anywhere you live. I'm on a vacation, vacation means lack of thinking. Vacation means that allow my mind to all kinds of pleasure. And so you are caught in the binding desire. You are bound to suffer in that vacation also. Find the solitude anywhere, whether you are on a vacation or at your home. Solitude means Mangala Charan and the mantra, at least for 5-7 minutes. Mind, return. You have traveled too much outside. Now it is the time to return to your mention of the six treasures. If you don't do it, and then follow all those 11 steps, the wisdom circle, then apply satsang, contemplation, reflection, check mood and the mode of the mind has changed. Mood and the mode of the mind changed. You are in extreme pain, and if you change the mood and the mode of the mind, you have a lot of challenges at your home. You change the mood and the mode of the mind, all experiences takes place in the mind. I know some of you might be thinking, no, I have a lot of problem, and you're saying that I will be in peace and happiness. I'm simply asking you change your mode and the mood of the mind, and then see what happens. So that freedom comes through the knowledge. Knowledge has two parts, discernment and dispassion. Whether you say simple, single phrase, whether your mind focuses, let me release all the attachment, it is equivalent to questioning the authority of the mind, claiming that you have a pain and you have a suffering and nobody is giving you peace and happiness. It is just equivalent. You see the different expressions the masters have given. Two expressions. Third expression, directly use the discernment. Why? To determine which mental room is causing you the problem. What are those 6 rooms? Desire, attachment, hesitation, because desire is not fulfilled, craving, because the mind is seeking the repeat desire, that is what is known as the greed, All the three factors causes the delusion. Oh, I'm searching peace and happiness outside. That is another way. Any type of the thought, again, understand. First is that you directly attack the attachment. First, you do the Mangalacharan and release the attachment. Or you question, why, mind? Why you are suffering? Oh no, my honey did. Honey is outside, Take care of the mind. Questioning. Directly use the discernment to determine which mental room is causing the problem. Recognize the impact of mental state so that you can change the mood at the mode of the mind. I covered by these four aspects all the different generations. That is the beauty of the Eastern West. Everything applies to each generation. How can I develop endurance with the difficult family members? Mind always talks in that term. Mind talks to you, chats with you. Tell the mind you need to change, not them. I need to change. They are not studying Eastern wisdom. They will not change. They are rising. They are evolving at their own speed. But I have chosen the Eastern wisdom to evolve faster. Think of it. I'm not saying that you follow, but think logically. What is logically? Put the reason. Where is the freedom if our choices are conditioned by the past karma and habits? That is another doubt comes into the mind. The more knowledge we have about these conditioning factors, the more freedom we have to choose whether to go to these factors to get bound to suffer or remain free. Can meditation be practiced in a busy profession? That is the only way. Because it can drop your busyness. The busyness comes from the 6 enemies. I gave you an example that I'm very busy, I'm in a hurry. So can you take the entire food in one bite? No, 30 seconds. I'm coming after the restroom. But your constipation says, no, you cannot do it. Don't tell me that everything is instant. Don't tell me. Nothing is instant. It is my mental burden, conditioned. Conditioning of that delusion is there. How to deal with those negative thoughts. These rooms are not me. Repeat it in your mind 1,000,000 times. Thoughts are not me. Feelings are not me. They belong to the mind. Until the mind comes down, then you can switch on to the other rooms. Oh, the 6 treasures, my friend. We are all seekers, so now is the time to practice throughout the day internally. Now I'm very busy. I have a very in business, Ask yourself, mind, why you are busy. You will find one and more than one of the 6 enemies of the mind is causing you the problem. I'm getting obsessed. I will get the money. I will get the money. I will get the money. You are already doing the work. It will take some time. I will finish the session. Then I will get something. Can I say to the clock that, okay, now it's going to be 8:13. Finish it. Show me 9. Are you understanding? That is busyness. Mind is overlapping. What is fact? Then only I become busy. And that invites all the 6 enemies. What happened to me? What happened to my friend? He is in ICU, doctor is taking care. I'm giving you the real life scenario. Should I tell you very rough examples? My aunt, who is still alive, she is almost now 91, 92. And my uncle, long back, almost 30, 40 years back. Because of the brain fever, he was hospitalized, and my aunt said, "What will happen to me? You are still 92 years old." The busyness causes lot of busyness because of the six enemies. Otherwise, you are always free. Now, other things are there. You have an appointment, so you don't attend the session. It's okay. I'm not saying that busyness. How you get? You have to be very tough on your mind. Then only we can move to these six treasures. You can move from the six enemies to the six treasures. And it's not a part time. If you are not paying attention, if you are not contemplating and reflecting, they are not going to happen. Why? Now I remember one Upanishad. Upanishad, I told you, is the cream of the text, cream of the entire Eastern wisdom. They give you simply a formula. What I have talked today, mood and the mode of the mind, say wisdom circle, 11 steps, and other stuff, six enemies, six treasures, value set. The Upanishad says, within the city, see the metaphor, within the city of the real self, within the city of the real self, which is the body, mind, senses, there is a deep cave of the heart. The moment you touch, you are free. He has explained all the steps just by one. So remember, my friend, now we directly touch upon the binding desire is the first enemy. Binding desire. Desire to go to the restroom, desire to eat the food, desire to go to the job. It is not a binding desire. How do you define binding desire? I am seeking happiness outside from an act, from a thought, from a speech, from a relationship. I will be happy when I'm married. Can you tell me any single couple who is happy after marriage? No, I'm joking. So now see the opposite side of it. Hence, I will not marry. Then again, you are more crazy than you think. Dennis. No, but I'm just, Christina, the sea. Masters are saying that marriage is not a certificate of happiness. Living single is not a certificate of happiness. That we need to understand. We take another route. Oh, you said, no one is happy after the marriage, hence I will not marry. But your mind is pushing you inside. Do you see that? Then you have a problem. And then you come back to me, you told me. No, I did not tell you this. You did not understand. So every journey, everything starts from the binding desire, which contains likes and dislikes, which contains attachment and detachment. So now this binding desire is fulfilled. So you go to the restaurant. I'll be happy eating this food. So binding desire is fulfilled. But the mind says, so I talk to you, oh, which food you like? Oh, let us, I'll invite you to that restaurant and that food is good. You see, mind repeats. So that repeat desire is the greed. Greed veils your discernment and dispassion. That is why it is the second enemy. Third, desire is not fulfilled. The same binding desire is not fulfilled. So you have hesitation, you have a fear, you have a frustration, and you want to fulfill that desire. Now you see the covering, the veil, the ignorance, the delusion. I got married, so I was happy, but now I'm unhappy, so let me divorce and get remarried. I'm not saying that don't remarry. That is your choice. But that is what, frustration continues coming. Because I have already given a certificate of happiness to the marriage, or I have given a certificate of happiness to the being a single, or anything, any object, anything in the world. So the first three factors causes the delusion. That is the fourth enemy. Now I'm living in a delusion. You don't listen to those people who are nearby you. They recognize that you have a problem, but you recognize the world has a problem. That is the delusion. So now all the four factors go together. These four factors causes ego, the pride. Oh, I know that. I have a rich experience. What is your rich experience? I have a rich experience of frustration and anxiety. Now I have decided to marry again. Understand this. Marriage means, I want to be attached to one event or one situation, one vacation, whatever it is. And that ego also comes. No, I have achieved everything. You are talking about binding desire. Because of the binding desire, I'm rich. That is why you have a pride. And that is why you have a jealousy. That is why you hate others. That is why you have a delusion. Not because of the wealth that you have accumulated, but because of your mindset. Eastern wisdom is not saying that, keeping the wealth and don't keeping the wealth. It has nothing to do with it. Are you understanding? These six enemies and the six treasures, we will talk about it. Let us discuss. Anyone wants to discuss? And yes. Who is taking the lead?
I think needing to constantly be the guard of watching the mind over and over and accepting that job every day comes to mind today.
Yes. I remember I woke up. So I should also remember discernment and dispassion. So I should also remember the mood and the mode of the mind, and follows the rest. Anyway.
I was thinking how important the Mangalacharan is. Because I think that in order to change the mood of the mind, you have to stop the mind first.
Yes, you are right. You are right. Go ahead.
No, I mean that was basically my thought.
Yes. You pick up any principle. You have picked up Mangalacharan is very important. So mind has fed the value in it. It will change. It will work. It will work. So I follow all the other steps. It may be Mangalacharan. I check the mood and the mode of the mind. I check, yes, I'm of the nature of the real self. It will work. I check discernment. Any. It depends on which Your mind gives value to what? It will work. Anyone? Go ahead.
I just taking off of both Christine and Barbara, I feel like the Mangala Churin does set the tone, and then and sets us up for success and the well-being of all. And then the mind's completely available to us. So then that sama is always there for us. Then actually the mind works for us.
Beautifully said. You see that? I told you, you pick up anyone and you pick up more if you are advancing into the journey. Let the Mangalacharan be there. Let the mind in the state of discernment will be there. And let the Mangalacharan be that let everyone be in the state of well-being. May there be happiness for all. Are you countering the past impressions of the six enemies? Answer is yes. It will work. My friends, it is all mental. You, you wake up, you sit, you practice 5 minutes, and you check up your mind before you take up the other jobs in the material world. Whether it's your personal, professional, social life, it will work. It's not working. You have to continue practicing until it starts working. Don't tell me it doesn't work. It has worked for. Do you agree, Ashok? Yes, Ashok agrees, you know. Yes. So, yes. Anyone?
For me, the realization that the mind is like a high performance sports car, which can be good at, but it can also be bad. And you know, every object starts with a thought, then goes to a thought form, and then into an object. And we can create marvelous objects or things in this world, or inventions or whatever, but we can also create really detrimental things to ourselves just with that same process.
Beautifully said. Yeah, picked up little higher principle. So he just think of that. Without any thought, I cannot recognize any object. Think of it. The moment your thought says, I'm into anxiety, then only you recognize anxiety and you continue to bind with them, bound by them. That's a very typical higher principle. We'll talk in detail about it. So when you recognize, now by the Mangalacharan, now I'm coming for this session, with the Mangalacharan you recognize let happiness be there for all. It works. Oh, that Michael is crazy, you know, he cheated me. When I remember early in the morning, Michael may be wrong, but what happened to my mind? Think. Yes, anyone.
I was thinking about discernment while you were talking, and from my experience applying the discernment in the problematic or difficult life situations really makes a difference. It helps not only to find the solution, but also to prevent the problem or this difficult situation altogether. For example, you were talking about the busyness today, and there is a really finite number of reasons for being busy. It's, for example, like planning or trying to accomplish more than possible, or procrastination, or setting wrong priorities, and maybe some more factors. And if I'm thoughtful enough to know and understand these reasons, which means I'm using the discernment,
Yeah.
then I'm able to avoid the busyness as such altogether. And this applies not only to business, but also to other problems and difficult situations in life.
Beautifully said. Conclusion by Dennis is that the fact is that when I say I'm extremely busy is basically a delusion that does not exist. It is because of procrastination, it is because of my extreme attachment, but the existence has laid down the plan. It will happen according to the existence, not according to you. That is the highest achievement, discernment. It is going to happen. Can I finish my lesson at start at 7 and finish my lesson at 8? Because I'm very busy. You see, that does not exist. So once you recognize, and discernment is the power that helps you to recognize. That helps you to recognize it. So what happens? You started from lack of thinking to a conscious thinking to a discernment to a dispassion. And from a dispassion, your mind is already still, the intellect is still. And when the intellect is stilled or steady, those six treasures awakens in you. You recognize in busyness that you are in peace and calm. I know some of your mind might be thinking, he does not understand what is busy, I'm still busy. Because that delusion is so much impressing my mind that, it does not want to leave me. So the more and more you practice the discernment, you will see that there is a change. With all what we have discussed, when the five senses, I remember Katha Upanishad, it's a beautiful Upanishad. So what the Katha Upanishad says, when the five senses are stilled, means you recognize the mood and the mode of the mind. They activate these five sense organs and motor organs. So you apply the discernment, or you did the Mangalacharan. You see, one principle. When the five senses are stilled, when the mind is stilled, when the intellect is stilled, that is called the higher state of the mind of a seeker in which the six treasures are awakened. By that principle, one master opened it up. Another master further said, no, you have to give this explanation. Third master ruled out all the objections. Fourth master explained beautifully. So teachings of all the masters, what I have summarized today with reference to the six teachers. Close your eyes. Eyes are closed, being find the place of the body. Just do the very subtle Mangalachar. Okay, place of the body is okay, but if your mind is very clear, what about the place of the real self? Oh, it is everywhere. Why? Real self is all pervading, all pervasive. What about the position and the posture? There can only be one position, one posture for the real self because there is nothing except the real self in the entire cosmos and the galaxy. Now, if your mind brings in these thoughts with a feeling and awareness, your body stops moving. We remain engrossed in the body. Okay, but my body has a lot of problems. We start stretching our body here and there to be comfortable, and we never become comfortable. And then being comfortable, comfort. I told you again, I dissected that. What did I dissected? The comfort is the trait, is the attribute of real self. Sensation and stillness. Sensation and steadiness is the attribute of body. Body keeps on changing. So. Can you conclude? Yes, so if the body keeps on changing, it means sensation keeps on changing. Oh, that is the natural state of the body. Why should I worry? Sometime pain will come, sometime pleasure will come, Sometime the limitations will come as I grow older. Okay, so I remain comfortable all the time, yes. Can I live into that state of discernment? Being carefree. Carefree is a wonderful state. Carefree. Carefree, and you discern. It means carefree, I am and I am not. I am and this. We refer this to the things, people, relations, which is not me. This world, this person, this home, this car, and we also say this stress is killing me. So wherever you use this, that is different and separate from you. That is being carefree. You can approach through the power of discernment. You can approach through the mood and the mood of the mind. You can approach through the first 4 out of the 11 steps. You can approach directly to the Mangalacharan. Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. If the mind is not listening, yes, Sarvesham swastir bhavatu. May there be happiness for all. One is the thought you are saying in your mind, that is your intellect. Check, is the mind also supporting that thought? It means what? You have set the value. Even if it does not agree, you still push the mind. No, let everyone be happy. No, except this guy who is enemy number 1. No, may there be happiness for all. You loosen the knot of the past impression and reaction by repetition. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. Sarvesham Shantir Bhavatu. May there be peace for all. You get emotional. We get emotional. No, how my honey, you are suffering. No, I have lot of pain. I have to go to the dentist to extract my teeth. I have lot of... No! You get also emotional. May everyone be in the peace, irrespective of my friend or enemy, stranger or relations. Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu. And now this addresses to our inner cave of the heart. Deep inside the cave of the heart, we are one. We are whole. We are whole means we are complete. Complete means there is no sense of incompleteness. There is no sense of incompleteness means there is no binding desire. There is no binding desire means I'm not busy. Am I really busy now? No. I'm totally free. You see how the Mangalacharan makes your mind empty. I have to contemplate and reflect. You all guys rightly shared is you have to reflect on it. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. So now see that happiness for all is there, peace for all is there, and completeness for all is there. What is that state if you mix them all? You see, with reference to the enemies, we say we mess them all. Here we are saying we mix them all. Who is saying intellect? What the intellect is presenting, the knowledge. This knowledge should inspire the mind, and the mind moves into the state of auspiciousness. Mangalacharan. You are already in the state of meditation. Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu. Your mind becomes very soft, plastic, if I use the word. With the 6 enemies, it becomes like an iron. It sticks. Plasticity. Can I say the plasticity of the mind to make you understand? And in that state, you look at the 16 segments of fingers and start dropping Om Shanti on the 16 segments of fingers. Om Shanti, and check the mind is not interfering in dropping Om Shanti on the 16 segments of the fingers. And if the mind is not interfering, you are already there. You recognize the journey yourself, that you are deeper and higher into the journey. Teacher has nothing to do. Now see Om Shanti in Sattvic Guna. Why the mind doesn't move into the Rajasic Guna? It does not pick up any past impressions. Or in Tamasic Guna, it doesn't become lazy, it doesn't fall into sleep even while meditating. It maintains that level of awareness. That is a challenge to all of us. We need to, and that is gone by the practice. Continue Om Shanti, Om Shanti, Om Shanti. Whatever the way you do it is right way. Why? Because that way you understand and you progress. Why I said so, we all have a doubt. Simple thing. Mentally, mind's eye looks at the segment, mind's skin touches, mind's ears hears Om Shanti, and mind's tongue says Om Shanti. I told you before also that all the senses are living in the mind. Just a recall and reminder. You forget the rest of the entire world. Out of the joke, I may say that you may forget your honey. Don't forget these principles. Now, looking deep inside the cave of your heart, visualize the triangle of any color, moving the mind on each side and dropping Om Shanti. You just pick up the three-pointed awareness. The mind moves, mind drops, mind is aware of the side, clockwise, anti-clockwise. Why I said the three-pointed awareness? To make the mind subtle. Why to make the mind subtle? Mind should set the value to find the real self instead of chasing after the past impressions. So there the mind gets more or less emotional to the journey. And that is why I say the moment you find the sync, go deep inside the cave of your heart, push the mind singing. Your mind seems to be still and you drop the Shanti. What we should do, because you cannot explain that real self through the mind. That is why we say mind seems to stop. And you say Shanti, and everything is stand still. We say it is self-absorption. Even though it is a false expression, points to what is right. There is no other language you can express it. Why? It is a subjective reality. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. I don't know the name of the master who say start with the Mangala Charan and with the Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. That is also a kind of a Mangala Charan. Do you think that? You start with the peace, you end with the peace or happiness or joy or wisdom or discernment, whatever you want to say. Bring your mind on the right hand, your mind on the left hand. Lift your both the palms, place it on your eyes, open the eyes inside. So when I'm going to bring the hands down, we'll share our experiences. What I'm going to say doesn't mean that I'm criticizing one branch of the science. Look at the modern psychology, psychotherapy or psychiatry. They have overburdened our mind with a mental disease, their symptoms, their causes, and in the end they write, causes are still unknown. And then look at our approach. Look at the approach of the Eastern wisdom. Oh, you have 6 treasures. Anxiety, no, you have 6 treasures. Stress, you have 6 treasures. Do you see that power? It changes the entire life of the person. Yes, Dennis, you let us start sharing.
Peaceful and comfortable meditation, almost no thoughts at the end, and mind was enjoying and was ready to continue for a longer time. Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful. How are you, David and Jerry?
Thank you. Just nothingness, just blank, peaceful, quiet, blank. I have, it was wonderful. Thank you.
Beautiful. You see that in that state of nothingness, I have not left my professional activities, but I can be more active, more organized, more structured in my professional activities. Does that make a sense?
Mm-hmm.
You see that. So that busyness is gone. That is what Dennis has explained differently. How are you, Jerry?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, I felt settled in that satsang, and I feel like the just being adaptable and fluid. I felt that that's the way the meditation felt to me, very
Beautiful.
fluid.
Beautiful. Very, when you say settled, just define settled in your head. Let everyone define the settled. Do you have any of the 6 enemies when you are settled? Do you have anxiety when you are settled? Do you have a duality when you are settled? Define. That is how the Eastern wisdom works. It says, no, you have to define, you have to reason. I am settled when I'm settled in giving a lesson. You are settled in receiving a lesson. Think. I'm just, pointing you. How are you, Stephen? Beautifully said, yes.
Good, sir. Thank you. I've realized this week that in thinking about the 6 enemies and the 6 treasures and the house metaphor, that everything negative starts with the binding desires. And there wouldn't be 6 enemies if you just got control of the binding desires. And it's been extremely helpful, which led to today's meditation of just complete inner peace, which has been wonderful. So thank you.
Beautifully said. You said 6 enemies, mind is a home. And you see, this is also a discernment. I recognize these are 6 rooms here. On the left side is enemies. On the right side, 6 treasures or 6 inner wealth. Oh, mind is like a big mansion. you know what happens? You start thinking in this way, you have already separated the mind from you. That is known as the witness consciousness. And that witness consciousness is the beginning of a meditation. It's so beautiful. Our mind is not able to believe it that we have that power. Well, the mind believes, I have a lot of stress, I am very busy. Remain busy, continue to suffer. Yes, Barbara, how are you? Beautifully said.
I'm very good, thank you. I kept thinking during the meditation in the Mangalacharan of let there be completeness for everyone.
Yeah.
Because when you're complete, you approach the world without a neediness and without an expectation.
Beautifully said. Something coming up, my mind triggers, going into the Upanishad teachings. I have not read all the Upanishads. I've read hardly. I'm a very humble seeker in this path. I'm not like those great masters. You see what you said simply when I say, I wanted to say something, now it has come to the mind. Many of us, we all are good people. We always think good of others. Mangala Charan helps that goodness to manifest. This is what I want to say. Are you getting it? Every day you are saying, let everyone be complete in itself. Let everyone be happiness for all. Now, sometimes we have extreme goodness, but because of the six enemies and intertwined personality, we are taken for granted. Are you getting it, what I want to convey? That is what happens in our life by following the path of the Eastern wisdom. So you rightly said, I have a goodness, I feel too much that everyone should be good. But simultaneously, I have an extreme anxiety in some other thing, and they both mess up. Mom, you continue to trouble me. Don't disturb me. And the mom starts crying with the tears, I'm thinking good of you. I mess up my anxiety with the goodness. Are you understanding that? Eastern wisdom helps you to understand that. So you can come out with those positive emotions. Christina with a K. You might be thinking about it. Yes. Yes, Christina.
Thank you. Thank you. The experience of nothingness or formlessness during the meditation, and I sort of link that to when you said earlier, when we're interacting with others, they're just boys or girls or humans even, right? And that the perceived problems, I could just see that there's nothing there. Almost, right? There's just nothing there.
Perceived problem is basically created problems by the deluded mind. And that keeps me busy. Change the perception. Change your life. That is the journey of the Eastern wisdom. Cherry, how are you?
I went very far away at times and listening and learning.
Beautiful. Very far away from the body, from the house, from everyone, obviously. That is also an emptiness and nothingness. Beautifully said. Christina with the C.
Thank you, Girish. I am very grateful to be here and just experience the sharing with everyone and hearing everyone's experiences or thoughts. And I have realized I know I personally had very strong ties with binding desires in the past, and I still do. I still do, but very strongly in the past. And I feel as if, some people say, oh, if you put on glasses, you could see better. But it's more like we have lived with the wrong glasses on. And if you take the strong prescription that you don't need off, the true sight lies within us. It's already there. The pure vision without binding desires is like taking off the wrong glasses. So that's just kind of what I thought today.
Beautifully. You see that? Krishna, you are young, and if you have lot of binding desires, it seems natural in the modern society. On the top of it, so you see, if you miss the session because of binding desire, so resolve you don't miss the lesson. Another thing is that you repeat in your mind how others share their experiences. What will happen? Mental maturity. At the young age, you have a mental maturity. That means you are able to take over those binding desires. Everyone has it. I had it when I was of your age. Can anyone reject it? Don't worry. Accept, acknowledge, and then follow the path. It will change. We are going to great people in the end. Isha Ashok, how are you?
Namaste, sir. Thank
Namaste.
you very much.
Thank you.
And I'm peace and calm.
Peace and calm. The time has come. You have to contemplate and reflect. You forget all the sessions just after attending the session. That is why you have nothing to share. Including me, everyone is also understanding. So I am peace and calm. So if you are peace and calm, you are always peace and calm?
Not always, sir.
So we have to think. We have to think. Because you are attending this session, that's why I'm saying it. People sometimes feel bad about it, but there's nothing bad about it. Just to help you start the journey. But you have started doing, he told me that he had he closed the door when he attended the session. Close the door of the mind when you attend the session. That is more important. So, how are you, Sangeeta?
सर जब मैं वॉक करती हूँ तो मैं मंगलाचरण करती हूँ और कई बार मैकेनिकल हो जाता है, लेकिन अधिकतर टाइम मैं अवेयरनेस के साथ करती हूँ तो दिल जैसे बहुत विशाल हो जाता है और सबके लिए प्रेम बढ़ जाता है.
Beautifully. She raised one issue and she solved that issue by herself. She says while walking, she does the Mangala Charan. One woman, in Mesa, she used to do while dog walking. So she told me that she forgets that I'm walking my dog. I'm doing just absorbed into the Mangala Charan. That is the way of a seeker. That is the way of a seeker. Now, what she said that in between, my mind goes somewhere. It becomes mechanical and habitual. So understand, my friend, it happens to everyone. In the beginning, it happens to everyone. We have to continue the journey. Never feel that it will never happen to you. It happens to everyone. So when I recognize it happens to everyone, so I have to repeat it, you change. I'm so thankful and grateful to you all who have started sharing the experiences, which means there is a journey. We are advancing into the journey and start applying into your life. in your personal life, in your professional life, in your social life, in your family. By naming Ashok, I mean everyone. In your family also. What happens? There is a blockage. Last point. There is a blockage. What is that blockage? Oh, he will not understand, I know his nature. When you are changing by attending these sessions, the other will also change. Why don't you feel that? No, I can change, but others cannot change. Are you seeing? Are you understanding that point? Blockage, big blockage. Everyone has the potential. Everyone can change in the life. Everyone can change.